Hello everyone, this is Big Money Chasing Big Money by copytrading on Bitget. This is the third episode of the passive income series on the last day of February 2023. This month was really about anxiety and consolidation, with the entire crypto market not being able to decide where to go from the January highs. How did the traders handle all this? I will share the results with you along with my expectations for the month of March. Let's dive right in. The month of February was a typical case where the attitude of the investors was confirmed. In January, we saw a certain type of euphoria taking place with the huge pump in the price of BTC, and other cryptocurrencies followed suit. At the time, it seemed like it could easily be just a temporary spike, but this one showed that there is much more to it. We had a press conference by the Fed and an interest rate decision, we had unemployment and inflation data coming out, and none of these events would have given any reason for optimism for the investors. The bad data coming out had the potential to turn the entire market upside down and send the prices down to really low levels. Even the speech of Jerome Powell was rather hawkish. He didn't say anything which was encouraging for the markets, but he had one single remark where he mentioned that we have entered a disinflation period. And the investors seemed to completely ignore or forget all the negative things he said, and only based on this single word, the markets started rallying, and we saw the price of BTC eventually reaching above 25k. However, the price could not break above that level really, and some more bad data was coming out, so actually now it seems like inflation is on the rise again, which will probably prompt the Fed to raise interest rates even higher than originally planned, or at least keep them high for a longer period of time until a low inflation rate is solidified in the US economy. So right now we are at the stage where the price of BTC is just hovering below 25k, bulls not having enough strength to push above and keep it, yet the bearish moves are absorbed by the liquidity allocated to the lower levels. How did my traders handle all these moves? As you might remember, I started my copy trading journey on January the 1st, and at the time my preferred trader called One Monkey had all of his slots full, so I decided to temporarily follow one of the copycat accounts, thinking that I will just swap my copies once the original One Monkey account had an available slot. Of course, immediately after I started copying, the big pump came with all the traders heavily shorting, and I didn't want to close the copycat account until those open positions were closed out. Now, what happened is that the fake account was probably operating with a lower budget than the original, and he stopped opening and closing positions. Basically, he became inactive, so I held on to those positions which were opened by him. To my biggest surprise, just yesterday he decided to close all of the red positions, making a massive hole in my P&L. The effective damage here is minus 224 USD. Obviously, I am really not happy about this. Without this mistake, I would be easily in the green. In fact, my monthly 10% goal would have been reached. But anyway, that was my mistake. I do believe that the other traders will be able to make it up rather soon. The original One Monkey account is doing quite well on the other hand. I am absolutely satisfied with his performance and his trades. I mean, he's pretty close to making it to $100 in profit, which is basically 20% of my original investment. Da Vinci has not been performing as I would have expected from him based on his track record. Also, by watching his moves, I have the impression that he is nervous with his trades, opening and closing them too soon. All of his losing trades could have been closed in green with just a bit of patience. So actually, I decided to wait until the end of March to give him a chance to make back the losses he made in January. And should he fail to do so, I will just simply look for another trader to copy. Obviously, I am not happy with the end result of this month. However, I do believe that there will be plenty of opportunities to still make a decent profit next month. What I expect from the month of March is mostly just chopping sideways with a slow grind to the downside. I do believe that this euphoric investor behavior cannot last much longer. Considering all the macroeconomic factors, especially if we consider that the SEC is planning to crack down heavily on cryptocurrencies in the US, I just don't see a real reason for this type of increase in the prices to be sustainable. As a matter of fact, personally, I still see the price of BTC to dip below 20k. I think that the market is most likely to move sideways and slightly downwards in March. Now, I hope that the traders will be able to handle all these moves properly. Alright guys, this is all I have for the month of February. You know the drill, all comments are welcome. Let me know if you have any questions or if you have a trader that you love and want to share your analysis. Please don't hold back. I will be coming up with some new material in March, not sure exactly when, but it would be a bigger, longer video probably. Until then, trade safe, big money out.